In motion is Sewell. Goff to throw. Wants to throw it to Sewell. He caught it. Boy, Sewell with a first down. Oh, yes. The big man dives down to the 31-yard line. Oh, that is beautiful.
Welcome to the Twentyman in the Huddle podcast presented by Microsoft, and I'm excited to welcome in CJ Gardner-Johnson.
That's a flag if you got a 20-minute huddle.
20-minute in the Huddle.
That's a delay game.
That's the last name. You know, you got to use the last name.
You know, though.
I know.
All right, you're making sure.
It's 12, but it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 too. I just skipped ahead 20 with the name, you know?
It's still a flag.
I'm just meeting you, and already I love it. This is going to be good. I can already tell. CJ Gardner-Johnson, new defensive back for the Detroit Lions. And let's start with this, CJ. Your relationship with Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell. Yeah. Just how much did that play a factor in you deciding to sign here? Because I think it was all the way back to high school that you met Aaron Glenn, right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
I'm comfortable. I think the best players play comfortable when they're around comfortable people. So I think understanding what they're trying to build here, the fight. I mean, we play here, or I played against the same team last year beginning of the season.
Week 1.
And I remember, we was up, but the fight that they had, it wasn't like we put them away. So I think understanding that compete, that next man up mentality, the challenge mentality, I think I always carried over with AG and Dan. Even when Dan was the coach at the Saints, I understood the intensity he brought to the tight end. So for me, it was easy. I'm comfortable, ready to play ball, ready to help younger guys, help older guys take that next step, because I feel like this team can do it. You just got to believe we can do it.
To your point, in that Week 1 game, they fought back, and obviously they started the season 1-6, but that fight was there at the end of the year too, winning 8 of their last 10 games. And it's really easy to maybe throw in the towel sometimes at 1-6, but what does it tell you about this team, this roster, the fight that you talked about to finish the way they did, and they were so close to making the playoffs?
True football players. Like, a lot of football players that tuck their tail, all right, let's prepare for next year, but a lot of these guys understood the magnitude of what every game meant. I think me watching them at home last year, I think it was in Green Bay, when Kirby caught the first pick, called back. Sometimes players respond and the offense responds. They see a defense respond, he caught the pick.
Yeah.
Again, it was like, okay, that fight, I'm not gonna let somebody push me over, because everybody knows it's hard. Green Bay in the division at the time when Aaron was here and how he was playing, it's hard to not be the pushover. So I think seeing that game right there and see how they fall in the cold, nighttime, everybody watching, I think that's really solidified who they really were. I think it's time for a change.
I've already been on the receiving end of a little bit of it, but the art of the trash talk. You've been known here and there to get under some guys' skins. It really is an art form, isn't it? And is it a part of your game? Is it to try to get into guys' heads a little bit?
This is the thing. Like, I studied the game so much to the point where it's like, I'm not attacking your game. I'm not attacking your grit. I'm attacking your character, because your character gonna show me who you really are when it's time to go get it. So like, everybody always think, you talking, I ain't get a single personal foul penalty last year, but I was still able to get on the guy's skin, still able to go at him. Sometimes it's about just tackling. A lot of people don't like being tackled. So I think when I tackle somebody and you can see the demeanor, how they get up, you don't want to play. You just let them know about it so you can impose your will.
How much do you pride yourself on your versatility? You obviously came into league as a cornerback. You've played nickel. You've played the outside. You go to Philadelphia. You switch. And you played some safety. You have a great season last year, tied for the league with 6 interceptions at safety. How much do you pride yourself in that? You call yourself a DB because you're not a cornerback. You're not a safety. You're a guy that, from the outside looking in, you can play all 3 spots.
Truthfully, I feel like I'm the best DB, one of the best DBs, top 5 in the league. I mean, we don't get in the contract. We don't get in none of that. Return that tape. You can't match me up with anybody and say, this guy does this exceptionally better. Like, I was challenged to go play one position. I did it. I was challenged to go play one position for 3 years. I did it. So I think the next step for me is bringing on the next set of young guys who can do the same thing I can do. So I'm not really focused on trying to be outspoken on who the best. I'm trying to be outspoken on who the best leader. And I think what stuck with me, playing with nothing but vets, Malcolm Jenkins, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, it teach you, like, gotta humble up. So you ain't really gotta say much. So I think why a lot of guys feared me this year because they expected it, but they ain't really expect it. But now it's on and popping. Like, don't be surprised.
What about this secondary in Detroit now? Obviously added Cam Sutton, added yourself, Adam Emmanuel Mosley, guys who have played for great franchises, been starters in this league. And then you get some young guys too. Jerry Jacobs is an up-and-coming player here. Jeff Okuda, I think, still has a lot to prove. And Kirby Joseph Trace. It just seems like with what they've done in free agency, with the additions that they've had, it really is a talented and deep secondary.
It reminds me of New Orleans.
Is that what it is?
It reminds me of what AG did in New Orleans. You put a bunch of young guys who want to play football, who want to go get it, and you throw them out there. And I think last year was the throwing out process. Throw them out there, see what they could do. This year is more so, yeah, we know who we adding. E-Man been to a Super Bowl. I've been to a Super Bowl. Not to discredit the young guys, but when you get that vet presence, Cam, me, you understand, like, there's more than just playing for a winning the game. You trying to get to the next step. So I think those young guys, plus me, is going to gel perfectly because you got people who've seen it from a different side. And I'm not talking about me. You know, a lot of coaches win Super Bowls. So, like, when you got a coach telling you how it is in Super Bowl, when you got a player that's been there and done that, you ain't got to win it, but you can give them the experience, like the little things. So I think just give them the little tools just to go on to the next level. I think that's what's going to separate us this year.
How much did last year leave? I don't want to say a bad taste because
it
was a great run to the Super Bowl. How much did that not finishing that last game make you want to get back there and help this organization get to their first?
It stain, because a loss hurt, but Super Bowl loss ain't no joke. It's one of those ones where it's like everybody says an 18-week season. It's really like 25.
Do you ever get over losing in the Super Bowl?
Nah, because you've been there, you touched it.
Yeah.
I think when you play so good, this ain't testing myself. This is to every player I've been in. When you play so good or you do something so good and you just fall short, that made me understand, like, who the Super Bowl will show the real competitors. It'll show you who's there for the moment, who's there to seize the moment. And I think we didn't seize the moment. I don't want to say we. The team I was on, we didn't seize the moment, but I feel like in order to get back there, you have to be where your feet are every day to get to that point. And I think that's why the loss hurt me, because you do everything right.
And you're not rewarded in the end.
That's why I say one of them celebrations that I remember it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Last one for me, CJ. Just how excited are you to join this team when you look at the totality when they called and wanted to bring you here? You obviously do a little bit of research of what they have, from the offense being top 5 in just about every category last year to some of the young pieces on defense and what they've added. Just where's your excitement level of where this team could potentially be headed?
You gotta just trust the message. I think when you got multiple different messages, it don't gel right. You gotta hear one voice. There's always gonna be that leader or that chief, or that chief gotta be able to lead the Indians. And I think for this year, for us, we gotta understand that what Coach Dan putting down is working. You gotta be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Because you're putting it down, you can't let it lay down. So I think we gotta pick up all the hard work that he's laying down. We gotta embrace it. Understand that it's always a day to get better. Every day you wake up, you got to get better, 1% better. And that's why I'm here. I think that's the grind that everybody's going to accept.
Well, I think everybody's going to enjoy it. I know Lions fans are certainly excited that you are here, along with a lot of the additions. Congratulations on the contract. Can't wait to see you on the field with all the other new guys.
Appreciate it.
Welcome Welcome back to the Twentyman in the Huddle podcast presented by Microsoft. And Lions fans will recognize this gentleman sitting next to me, Graham Glasgow, drafted by the Detroit Lions in the third round in 2016. Terrific start to your career. Obviously signed the big deal with Denver in free agency, but now you're back with Detroit after signing a 1-year deal in free agency. Just what was it about, wanting, where this team is at and why this was a good fit for you right now, Graham?
Well, first things first, I'd really wanted to play with my friends. Like I told you that a little bit earlier, but coming back here and playing with Taylor and Frank was something that I really wanted to do. And just seeing how, I know that the season started a little rough last year, but then seeing how they kind of went on a run there at the end and seeing how well the offense was playing and how well the offensive line in general was playing out, that's something that I really wanted to be a part of. And, because I know how much it means to the people around here to have a good,
because you were here,
team.
Yeah,
I was here when the last time we made the playoffs and back in 2016, a while back, but
a little bit,
a little bit. But I'm just excited to be a part of something where there's, it seems like we have a clear direction here, and this team is trending up.
First impressions of Dan when you met him.
He's really tall. He's a tall dude. He's pretty buff. He's pretty tall. I could definitely see how he's a tight end in the NFL. But he's I only talked to him in passing for a little bit, but he was he took an interest in my family life, and I appreciate that, and making a little bit more of a connection outside of just what can you do for me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk to him a little bit more later, but. So far, I think he seems like a really good guy. And
you mentioned it, joining Taylor. You guys were drafted together in 2016, obviously close friends. And then Frank, who's become a Pro Bowl player in this league, and Penne at right tackle, a Pro Bowler, Jonah Jackson at left guard. He's been to the Pro Bowl too. Just how excited are you to join a line that essentially has 5 Pro Bowl caliber players on it?
I think it has to go without saying. I think that was one of the big things that I really liked about coming back and joining this team, is that everybody here just seems to be on an upward trend and doing really well, playing good football. And that's what it's all about. Like, I just wanted to come back here, play good football for myself and for the fans.
Versatility. Yeah, I know you played guard when you first got here, played center. You've done it both in this league. How important is that for guys in your position that play the interior to be versatile like that? Because Frank's done it too. I know it's in Jonah as well. But with those pieces, with you 3 guys, just how valuable is that to be able to really have 3 guys that can play 3 different spots?
Just from a situation on like game day, if you have I remember my last year here, I was playing right guard, but then Frank went down in a game. I had to go move to center for a game, maybe a little bit more than that, like a game and a half or something. I'm not quite sure, but just being able to do that, and then I feel like that allows you to help put the best 5 out there, which is, I know that might be cliche in the in the coaching world and in football, but I think that that's important to be able to do. So it's just, while it makes people valuable, it also is just important for the makeup of a room and for a line.
And beyond the offensive line, too, Jared Goff had a Pro Bowl caliber season. And some of the receiving threats, Amon-Ra St. Brown has become one of the best slot receivers in this league. We're going to see Jameson Williams. Got to see a little bit of him, at the end with Swift, and obviously signing David Montgomery now too. Just how explosive, how good can this Lions offense be? It was top 5 in the league last year, and it looks like they've only gotten better this offseason with guys like you and David and some of the guys they're adding.
I don't know. It seems like, as I said, everything is trending up, and that's what made it such an enticing place for me to come back to. Just outside of like the personal ties, everything that you just mentioned was something that I had taken into account. And Jared reached out. He seems like he's a great guy, really nice fella, and seems like he goes to work and is a real consummate professional, which I love to see that. So. As you said it, I don't know. Probably, I would hope better than 5, but we'll see.
You've been here. You were drafted here. You played here. You know what this community is like in terms of their love for the Lions, their love for football. What would being a consistent winner mean for this city, for this organization? And being part of that, how much would that mean to you having started your career here in Detroit?
I think it would mean everything to the fans around here for us to build the Lions into a consistent winner. And it would mean a lot for me as well, just going to Michigan, being around the area for 5 years, seeing, a lot of Lions playing here for 4 years, almost spending 10 years in the area. For me, it would mean a lot as well.
Well, I know Lions fans are excited about what this offense could be. Now you join at right guard and kind of really solidify that offensive line. It's going to be really fun. Congratulations on being back, and we can't wait to see all you 5 guys out there together. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Tim.
Welcome back to the Twentyman the Huddle podcast presented by Microsoft, and I am welcoming in CJ Moore.
What's up?
Special teams extraordinaire, safety, kind of a guy that just kind of does it all. One of those glue pieces, I think, to a roster, because you're a guy that obviously is an elite special teams guy, but you've stepped in, played safety, played defense at a high level in this league too. How much do you value the aspect of being a versatile player in this league?
Man, I'm thankful for it. The more you can do, the more you can do, you'll have a job. And it's just been great being able to be relied on to go in and play safety. If you need me at nickel, I could do it. I'm going to go out there and compete. On ST, I'm trying to be the best in the league, so it's just been great to have the different, the skill set to be able to play all those positions.
And I know there are some teams very interested in you in the free agency process. You re-signed with Detroit. What was it about Detroit, this situation, that just fit for you, CJ?
It was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. Like what Miss Sheila's building here, Brad and Coach Dan, like, it was a no-brainer. And this is home. I'm from Mississippi, but this is my second home. And it meant so much to my family just to come back home.
How excited are you for that secondary room now, too? Some changes in there, obviously, with some of the new additions with Cam and Emmanuel and Gardner-Johnson. That room's going to look different. There's going to be a lot of competition in that room, and that's just going to make everybody better, isn't it?
For sure. I'm excited about the competition. I'm excited about the new guys. It's going to be crazy back there. We're going to have a lot of plays being made back there in the back end, and the competition should only bring people to their higher, play at a higher level. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
You are one of the elite special teams guys in the league. What do you love about having a head coach in Dan Campbell and a coaching staff that really values that aspect of the game? You look at some of the guys, the Josh Woods, the Chris Boards, spending resources yourself to really make that an important part of the game. How much do you value that as a player, as a special teams guy?
Grateful for it. A lot of teams don't value ST, to that extent. And I'm so thankful that we have Fipp and Coach Dan actually buying into what he's coaching and in the players. And just thankful that, we get to play a big part of games. It's not just kicking the ball off. We're trying to change the game every time we step out there.
The fakes, right?
Right.
Your play last year, and that you guys are successful at it, but Dan doesn't mind calling them.
Right.
He loves those special teams. You guys are always keeping other teams on their toes because of that, right?
Yep. Coach Dan, he's gutsy. He's gutsy, and he trusts us to go get the job done, and we practice it over and over, to get it and to get it done every time we step out there. So we're thankful for him.
What's it like playing under Fipp? Because when he talks to us for the media, he's one of those guys that I think every guy downstairs when he does media sessions, you'd love Fipp. Just kind of seems like a genuine guy, funny. What is it like playing under Fipp? You had any good Fipp stories?
Man, Coach Fipp is great on the field and off the field, and man, the fact that we could be in a practice and he wants to run down on a kickoff rep with us. He's like, CJ, I bet I beat you down on this kickoff. I'm like, and then he actually takes off. So now I got to really wind up and go catch him or whatever. But Coach Fipp is great. He actually lets you play. He doesn't overcoach. We go over it a couple times in practice, and then game day he steps back and gives it to us and go out there and just ball out.
What does it take to be a really, really good kind of core special teams player in this league?
You got to be scrappy. You got to be. It's a bar fight out there. That's what my twin would say. But it's a bar fight. You got to go out there and it's gritty. Not everybody wants to do it.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to do it. It can be nasty, and you just gotta have the right mindset and obviously the skill set to go get it done.
I know you talked off the top about this, CJ, but just where's the excitement level at with what Brad and Dan are building here? And you saw it those last 10 games last year.
Right.
And now with the additions, you guys got to have 5 draft picks in the top 81.
Yeah.
I mean, you're smiling already because I can tell the excitement. It's palpable. But I mean, just what's that level like? Where are you at with that? And just how excited you are for where this thing is headed?
It's about to get scary.
Yeah.
It's about to get scary. I could just what he's already been building over the last 2 years is been great. And like you said, the picks, it's going to be something special. We're just so ready to give, more wins to the city.
Yeah.
We feel like, people are hungry for wins around here, and the fact that we were able to be positive last year in the record, that just was great. So, yeah, we're excited.
You saw Ford Field at the end of last year,
right,
and what that is like. Now imagine that's for a division title. Imagine that's a playoff atmosphere. Have you let yourself maybe think ahead a little bit about what that venue could be like, what this city could be like if you guys can get to that point?
It's going to be crazy. I can't even really imagine it. Like, I know everybody's going to come out. I know it's going to be deep. We played the Bills here. We played the Vikings when we beat up on them. Like, it's going to be special. It's going to be special.
Well, you are a special teams player, a versatile guy, a glue guy to this roster, a guy that can do a lot of different things, step in there. Congratulations on the new contract. And I know everybody's excited for this thing to get rolling because there's a lot of excitement in this city surrounding you guys. So congrats, man.
Appreciate you.
Welcome to the 20 Minute Huddle podcast presented by Microsoft, and I'm happy to welcome in Lions kicker Michael Badgley, re-signed. Michael, congratulations on the contract first and foremost. And what was it about Detroit? What was it about this situation that you loved here last year that made you kind of want to re-up with this?
I think getting to know this organization throughout the year, when I did come in, and then just the rapport that I was able to build, and just the locker room feel, and there was something special about last year. I mean, it was a lot of fun. We went on that great run and made that playoff push, and we kind of just fought hard till the end. But it was just one of these places that why wouldn't you want to be? I mean, this city, something like that, you want to make it happen.
I don't know if Lions fans know this, but you're a heck of an athlete. For kickers, obviously you have this reputation, but I mean, you won a state title in hockey, which I love. When did you start playing hockey? Early in life?
That was early. I was probably on skates at like 2 or 3, something like that. Yeah.
And then obviously the natural one with that, a lot of the hockey players play lacrosse. So you did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you play football. You were not only a kicker, but you played defensive back. You played some running back. You filled in at quarterback. I know, won a state title there. I mean, you had your hand in a lot of different things growing up as a youth athlete, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of my whole life growing up was just sports. It was always constant. It was always next season on to the next sport. So it was, all the way up and through the end of high school.
And then obviously, went to college, kicker, great success there. And I know there were some issues here with the kicking early on, and you kind of really stabilized that. And I know one thing Fipp has always talked about is just your confidence and that you exude that. He called it a calming effect to that room. Where did that come from, Michael? Is it just you've always kind of had that personality? You've always been that guy, just really confident in yourself and your abilities. And Fipp, that was one thing Fipp really loved about you.
Yeah, no, I think that's got to come with the position. I've always been confident in my ability, confident what I know I'm capable of doing. And I guess that comes from, maybe playing all those different sports, and now that all of a sudden you just get to funnel it into one sport and one position. But for the most part, it's just knowing that you're capable of doing what you know you can do. And I've always kind of had that confidence, and it's, if I can pour that out into locker room and some of these other guys, why not?
You showed that last year, 24 of 28 kicking field goals, a perfect 33 for 33 with extra points. I know Lions fans are excited to have you back because of that consistency. Money Badger, is there a better nickname than that? When did that start? How'd you get the Money Badger nickname?
Yeah, that kind of came my rookie year. It was one of those situations where, no one ever makes up their own nickname.
Right.
So it was kind of the fans started making that name, and I guess it just kind of stuck. And the next thing you know, they were saying it on TV.
you talked about Detroit, the situation here. Just how excited are you watching all the other additions that Brad has made? And obviously, you guys have 5 picks in the top 81, so you're going to get some draft capital, some guys that can come in and be really good in that regard too. Just how excited are you for what's building here and some of the guys that you've gotten and how you've improved this football team this offseason?
Yeah, it was one of those situations where you could just see this team had it within them, towards the end of last year, the way we would fight and just that locker room, we knew what we were capable of. And then anytime you're able to add on to a situation and add new pieces and, this organization and this staff, they know exactly what kind of player they want. Mm-hmm. And I think that they're just going to, mold perfectly into this locker room, and it's just going to be that much better.
It's got to be a culture fit with these guys too, right? I mean, it's not just you're a really good football player, but they want guys that fit a certain type, fit that locker room. You talked it off the beginning, how you love that locker room, how it gelled. It's not just you got to be a really good player. You've got to be the right player, right?
Yeah. You got to be a dude on this team. There's guys and there's dudes. And I think, Coach Campbell does a great job of, making sure that we got dudes in that locker room. But yeah, I think it's an exciting time, seeing all these moves that, Brad Holmes has made and what we know we're capable of doing this season. We're excited about it.
What's your process in the offseason? Do you stick to what you've always done? You're Mr. Consistent. At least you've shown that to me through your college and professional career. What's your process like in the offseason? And maybe what's one thing that you've maybe tried to work on this offseason or try to implement to better your game a little bit?
I think, I definitely try to keep it consistent. You take a couple trips here and there, but definitely keeping the work ethic alive. And what's been cool is I've been able to work, with our guys, out on the field and get field work this off season. So that's been kind of a new addition. Scott and Jack.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been able to go out there and work with them, and that's been fun. But other than that, it's, I guess, you definitely still want to get away from the game because it is, it's a long grind.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to make sure that you can balance stuff out. And I've just made sure I kept it light enough, but at the same time, I've been working.
You've been working.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes has been working too. You're part of that. I know Lions fans are really excited to have you back with the consistency. You really settled down that kicker spot. Congratulations on the new deal, and we'll see you when all you guys get back here in the springtime.
Appreciate it. Thank you.